This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investor Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always.
You're hot.
See ya. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and I'm coming to you live from Investor Schooling headquarters. You guys got one day that you guys, if you're listening to this show, you want to come down and see the studio. You need to come down and see the studio. It's right here in our headquarters. You'd love it. It's awesome. All right, today we're going to be a little bit different because Omri is away, which means Debbie and I may actually get to finish a sentence.
All right. All right.
But don't worry. We didn't leave the immigrant seat empty. We brought in a substitute immigrant. She's joining us today is Svetlana, who, like Omri, brings international flavor, but, you know, she's probably not going to interrupt us as much. All right, so today we're going to be a little calmer, maybe, but still interesting, and the show will be fun. All right, let's dive into stock options, real estate investing, interest rates, and what's happening in the economy and politics, and how it all affects your money and affects your future. We're broadcasting again live from Investor Schooling, where people learn how to invest in real estate, trade stock options, and actually build wealth with real strategies. And don't forget, you can RSVP for a free Thursday night class. Now, this is the point where Omri says Investor Schooling, so we have to have the other immigrants say it. So I say investorschooling.com.
investorschooling.com.
There you go. All right,
There we go.
A special thanks to our featured sponsor, of course, the Sultan Income Fund. Invest with the Sultan and collect like a king. So this fund is designed for income-focused investors. It's targeting a preferred return of between 36 to 48%, but we're not allowed to say that anymore. So our attorney says that it's so high that we're not allowed to say it anymore. Okay? Of course, all investments carry risk. Returns are not guaranteed, and for any opportunities available through official offering documents, be sure to review all risks and consult your advisors.
That's why that's why Omri interrupts, because he can't read what's on the screen. You know?
I actually can't. So I'm going for cataract surgery next week or next month, right?
Oh, right.
I'm going because I can't freaking see. I can't see with my glasses. I can't see without my glasses. So
okay.
it's like trying to read this is so hard. It's like all I see is blur.
Oh.
So
that's why, if you want, you could always give it to me and I can read it for you.
I could.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's always an option if you like. It would be my voice, so it wouldn't be your voice.
No, it wouldn't.
So then it would be the Debbie Anderson show for the day.
Well, I don't mind if it's Debbie Anderson show. It doesn't matter to me.
Dr. Debbie Anderson show for the day.
But real quick, past performance is not indicative of future results, and participation may be limited to accredited investors, blah, blah, blah. I also want to thank the Joe Keller team at Cross Country Mortgage, the only person I trust to get me a mortgage, especially for loans over $2 million. Call Joe directly at 215-817-9084. And remember, this is a live call-in show, and the phone number is, do you know the phone number, Solana?
855-939-1137.
Ooh, she sounds better than Omri.
You do it nice and
you got to do it
sexy.
like 5 times now.
Yeah, you got to do it a couple more times.
855-939-1137. And that's 855-939-1137.
She
No,
sounds
say it
good.
like you mean it.
She's got a nice smooth voice. You have a
She
great
does.
smooth
She has a
voice. Yeah,
great
you have a
voice.
great radio voice.
I absolutely mean it. 855-939-1137.
Oh, yeah, she's looking at me with those eyes
I
while
know,
she says
she's
it.
staring right at you.
Man.
Be careful,
Wow.
man. Be careful.
Ooh, I got a chill. It was better than when Omri does it, that's for sure. All right, so you guys can call about anything you want. You can call us about the stock market. You can call us about real estate. You can call us about what's going on with the war and how that's affecting the stock market because, it's all kind of cool stuff. All right, so Svetlana, let's talk about you for a minute. You're actually a student at Investor Schooling for the last year, right?
Absolutely, nearing a year.
So it's one of my favorite stories. Your story is one of my favorite stories because you came to me and you said what?
I said I'm ready to call it a day with my corporate job.
Right, you don't want to work there anymore. And I gave you really good advice, but you refused to take it, which was?
You gave me fantastic advice, which is ease out of it. Start executing on some of the strategies at Investor Schooling, and then we could talk about the exit date.
And she refused to take that advice.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I took half of that advice. I made it. I decided on an immediate exit date.
Yep. She quit her job immediately.
And then I immediately began to learn and execute on some of the strategies.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It worked beautifully.
And you're one of our star students. You're crushing it. Actually,
Yeah,
you're doing some really good numbers in your covered call account.
All thanks to Investor Schooling.
See, this is why I get up in the morning, Deb.
Oh, all right.
I get up in the morning to have sexy voices in my ear.
There you go. That's what it
It's
is.
usually Omri, but today it's Svetlana.
We'll do the best we can, and
She's got-
Omri will be back short.
She's got a nice, smooth, silky voice. You do. You definitely have a radio voice. You should do this more often, Svetlana.
We will see.
Yeah,
we
maybe
have 2 empty chairs. We got a chair for Brian. We got a chair for Svetlana.
Yeah. We
could turn it into a real zoo show.
We could do the immigrant, chair round, right, where everybody,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can
Musical
have-
chairs for the
musical
immigrants.
chairs for the immigrants. There you go.
Let's see. We just need. I think we have women. We have immigrants. We need a black person.
Okay, we can't get Joan.
Oh yeah.
Joan
There we
is
go.
black. If you don't remember,
I actually don't care.
No, I know, but you
that's probably why I
specifically
didn't.
said
That's why I
black.
didn't think of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just being funny because we need our DEI percentage here.
Yeah.
Do we need a Puerto Rican too? Is that
We can get Glenn.
We can get Glenn.
Get Glenn.
Glenn? You're Puerto Rican? No, it's a different Glenn.
Other Glenn.
Yeah, we could get that Glenn. Sure.
Yeah, actually, I just spoke to him today. Actually,
Okay, cool. All right, so I want to talk about what you guys did this week.
I know we had so much fun.
It was a blast.
Imagine 2 women getting on a plane with no destination.
Well,
no
we had a
direction.
destination.
We had a destination, right?
That's
We had,
all we
how
had.
else would we get on the plane? How would we know which one to get on?
Right,
So we
you
had a
went to-
destination. Went to Arkansas.
Arkansas, right? They went to Arkansas, but the wildest thing, as you were telling this story, just clue, they went to Arkansas to buy real estate, but
No, that's not true.
no,
That's
you
not
didn't.
true.
Okay, what'd you go
We
to
went to
Arkansas
Arkansas to. Okay, so you got to back up a little bit.
for? Yeah. Okay.
I did research because, there's somebody else that I kind of follow and I really like his model. And he always talks about emerging markets. And there's a bunch of check boxes that a place needs to have to make sure to keep moving forward. So I was looking in Ohio and I was looking in Virginia and I was looking at a bunch of different places. And I came across Arkansas and I'm like, hey, let me just throw in Arkansas. And I started looking at the surrounding areas. So I was looking at, this town and that town. All right, this didn't check the box. That didn't check the box. This didn't check the box. And I come across this little quaint town. It starts checking off all these boxes. So when I say boxes, I'm talking about it has a low crime rate, has a low poverty rate, has a higher percentage of people who have 4-year degrees, it has a good percentage of people who rent. It looks like they need housing because everybody we talked to, they kept saying that they need housing. It started just checking off all these boxes. So it's not that we went without a destination. We hadn't a destination, but all the research I did online looked really good. But until we went there in person, we weren't going to do anything else. So this trip was really just a fact-finding mission. And I told Svetlana, the odds is that we're just going to be driving for dollars for 2 days, or 3 days. That was, that's really the intention we had, is don't expect much. We're just driving around for dollars. So we get off at Charlotte because there's no direct flight to Arkansas, which doesn't make any sense at all. And then we got a 4.5 hour delay.
Really? Oh boy.
That's
we had
what happens when you miss connections, folks.
Yeah. So it took them a while.
You missed your connection?
Well, Philly left 2.5
I
hours
see.
late.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
okay.
there was some kind of mechanical issue or something
Right.
or other, and we already knew we were missing our connection. So what was great is that I fell asleep because we both were up really late the night before. I wake up and she's like, I already got our connection fixed. We're doing this, we're doing that. I'm like, oh my God, it's awesome. It was so great. That's Alana just took care of everything. I woke up, she's like, this is where we're going. I'm like, all right. When we got to Charlotte, we just went to one of the lounges. And, I did some work. So we were there. We had a 4.5 hour layover. So we were just working for the first couple hours. And then when I think we got done to eat, didn't we get done to eat?
We did.
Yeah, so that's something I don't even remember. But and then we got on the next, and it was a little tiny puddle jumper. It's like 2 seats on one side on the other. That's why you asked about first class, but there is no first class and something like
Okay,
that. They're
sure.
all the same.
The whole plane is second class.
Yeah, the whole the whole plane is like that. It's just like you have one stewardess, right? You have this crazy tiny cart, it was like you walk outside to get on the plane.
Okay, yeah.
You
sure.
have to
You go
put
up the
your
stairs,
luggage.
yep.
Yeah, and you have to give them your luggage so
Right.
that you get
Wow.
it back at the end. It's like that
Wow.
small. And even our backpacks, we had to put them in sideways because overhead bins were so tiny.
Wow.
Like it was like when I say puddle jumper, like I really mean puddle jumper.
get you.
It was really tiny. Anyway, so we fly into Arkansas and it's like 80 degrees because we're dressed for here because it was chilly here. And it's nice and it's warm and it's that southern charm. Everyone's like, oh, how y'all doing today? What can we do for you? It was just kind of funny. And the airport was crazy tiny. Like maybe it's twice the size of the Trenton Mercer Airport, right? It's tiny, tiny airport. And so And then the whole way to get the car was weird. Like you have to go upstairs to go downstairs to go outside to go inside to go back upstairs. It was like the weirdest thing, remember?
They're just checking if you can follow directions. Arrows mostly, no signs.
Yeah, it was very weird. It was so weird. And then, it's so small, the airport, that they have two of the, like the rental or Avis, whatever, they're combined. You know what I mean? So they have different stands and it was just kind of funny. Oh, which one are you here with today? I mean, it was just hysterical.
Okay.
All right.
I'm loving the female chit chat.
I know. Okay,
side of the
sorry.
story here, but let's get into the the nitty gritty here. So you get off the plane and you get your car and you do all this stuff and you go where?
We went to the hotel.
Did you even have a hotel?
We had a hotel.
Okay, good. So you went, but you had no plans. You had no real estate agent to talk to. You had nobody. No. So this is the part. This is really, it's really important. So if you're a real estate investor, right, and you're like, I don't know what to do, they literally went to a different state with, I have no idea what the plan is today. Let's go buy real estate.
We had a plan. I told you we were going to be driving for dollars.
I understand, but that's what I mean by no plan.
Okay.
I mean, your plan was you get in the car and go, hey, maybe I'll find a place that somebody wants to sell, right?
Yes. Okay. If you look at it that way, yes, that was the plan. And we got delayed, so we were hoping to have a full day and a half. So we really kind of were shorted and only had like a day. But we did do some driving around. Didn't we drive around that first day? Or did we? No, we got in so late. I think we got in so late we were exhausted. We got something to eat, and then so that night we were up pretty late, and I was looking at a couple things, but by the time, so Monday night, so we left Tuesday, I was up late putting together our route for what we're going to drive, and I put together a list of property managers, and I put together a list of...
So where did you get this list of property managers from?
ChatGPT. I went on the internet.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was just on the internet.
Yeah. But you did this the night, not before you left. You did this
the night before I left.
Oh, okay.
The night before I left. And then we did it again because we did it again when we were in the hotel room because I'm like, some of these don't look right, and we just did it again, and we got all new data. So then
That's
I
funny.
was, and some of it matched and some of it didn't. So that was crazy. But the route we had still stayed the same. So then we got up in the morning, we got breakfast, and then we just, we started at the courthouse. And we were filming it, right? So we did the first video. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is, so I wanted to kind of document it just because we were, she kept yelling at me because I was so excited. But it was just kind of funny. So we started at the courthouse and I'm like, hey, check out this courthouse. Look at that. And we were just driving around. And as we were driving around, we just saw people. The first person we saw, there was a food bank. So we went and we were talking to the ladies at the food bank. What's this place like? How do you like it here? And we were talking to her for like 10, 15 minutes. And she's telling us how much she likes this little place. She moved there when she was 15. She met her husband 4 months later, and they've been together 30-something years, and how she loves the town and how, all wonderful things, right? And then her boss comes over.
And did you tell her you were considering investing in the town?
We did tell her that.
And what was her reaction? I'm curious.
So I think we got a very positive reaction from everybody we spoke to, and we literally stopped everywhere we saw a human being on the street, including a city worker, and we stopped and talked to them. And that's a beautiful thing about the South, is they are happy to talk to you. And we got a tremendous amount of valuable information between all of them.
That's cool.
And back to your question, I thought, Deb, I don't know how you felt, but I thought they were all really happy about somebody that's coming in to improve the place, to beautify it, and to chase that shortage of housing. Yeah,
the shortage of housing came up a couple times, and because there was there was one street where they were building like cookie cutter homes. What I thought was very interesting that I didn't notice until we were in that one house is that most of the places there are ranchers.
Okay.
And I remember, and you don't think about it because it didn't click. But when we were looking at one house with the realtor, and I'll get to that in a minute, and I was waiting for the upstairs, and there is no upstairs. So most of the places are ranchers. So I thought that was, I don't know, I don't know why, but that kind of just struck me because you don't see that around here.
Were you looking in the same area?
What's that?
Were you looking in the same area where they all ranchers?
That whole town, they're all
Okay.
ranchers.
Okay.
Yeah, everywhere you look, they're all ranchers. Like they're tiny, but some of them are big. But I mean, they were all ranchers. Like it was.
We covered a number of different neighborhoods, both investment ready and some very upscale neighborhoods, and most of them
were
ranch
ranchers.
houses.
Got it.
Yeah,
Cool.
But we did. We stopped and talked to the utility guy because he was turning on the water or something. I don't even know what he was doing. We talked to a couple contractors, asked them, what they thought about the area. Is there any areas that they liked, any areas to stay away from?
So what's really neat about this is literally the fact that you went on an airplane with no actual destination, not ready to look at any houses that you specifically picked out.
Right.
And you just start. Now, how many houses did you see?
We saw 4.
Okay.
Correct.
We saw 4 houses.
And when you saw, were they multifamily? They were single family?
The ones that we were able to get into, well, that's not true. One was 2 duplexes. The lady's selling 2 sets of 2 duplexes.
Okay.
So one unit was open, so we went to go look at that one. We went to go see a foreclosure house. We went to go see the house that had a lot of water damage in it. And we saw one that we weren't able to go inside. It was the fourplex, the quad. We weren't able to go inside that one. Was there something else we saw too? And there were
a number of properties that we weren't able to see on the inside, but we identified to follow up with communications.
Right.
The ugly houses in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So,
and the night before I texted a bunch of people. So I did text. When I did my search, I found a couple realtors that were investor-friendly realtors. And when we did the research again the night before, some of the same people kept coming up. So I texted them the night before saying, hey, I'm in the area. I was hoping I may be able to talk to you sometime tomorrow. So I reached out to 3 property managers, none of which got back to me. I reached out to 3 realtors, one of which got back to me, and that's who we ended up meeting with. And then I reached out to, there was somebody else I reached out to. Property managers, the realtors, and wholesalers.
Okay.
So, and I reached out to 3 different wholesalers. So when I called the next morning, again, 2 of the wholesalers, their numbers were no longer in business.
Oh, wow.
And I think one of the property managers are not good at getting back to you. So, we'll have to do that at the next trip. But it was interesting. So she's like, look, I can meet you. I think it must have been like 10 or 11. She's like, I can meet you today at 12:30. And when we were driving around, we're like, oh, it's a 6-minute drive to her office. And we're like, yeah, we'll absolutely meet you. And we went and we were talking. She's like, you know what? My afternoon just cleared. You had time today to look at houses. And we're like, yeah, absolutely. So she had a whole list of houses for us to look at. And that's what we ended up looking at.
That's pretty cool. Okay. So, but again, this is like everybody does this. They're like, where do I begin? Where do I begin? Well, you begin by looking at houses, right? And you didn't even have a plan to look at houses. I mean, you flew to Arkansas. Did you look at Zillow before you flew to Arkansas and said, "Hey, there's some houses you should look at"?
No, because we don't really talk about using Zillow here at the school that much.
I know, and I'm amazed. It's funny. The funny thing is, I don't even know if I would have done what you did. Okay. I would have looked at Zillow just to get a feel for the area. That's all. But interesting that you just went there blind and you said, hey, I know this stuff here. I know there's something I want to buy. Now, you didn't make any offers yet, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Okay. So there was that one quad that we were just talking about, and I spoke to the, realtors are realtors and they don't let you always get to your sellers. But I was talking to the one realtor yesterday and I was asking her about the quad that we couldn't get in to see. That was the only one they needed 24 hours and we couldn't get in to see it. So they could show it to us Thursday morning at 9, but we were already on the plane home by then.
Sure.
I was talking to her and it's her in-laws.
Oh, okay.
And they have, they bought that property as part of our $12 million portfolio. They're
Really?
not in any rush to sell it. The only reason they even considered putting it on the market is because they had a vacancy. The vacancy has since been filled. That was another reason why they weren't as interested. And it's right in the center of town, which is nice. The rents were really low, and the amount that they wanted didn't warrant, the price. So I think they wanted $4.
They wanted 4 and change, and the rent roll just didn't warrant that.
The rent roll was maybe $3,000 a month.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't make any sense. And their response was, well, it's in the center of town. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But then Svalana brings up, well, if it's in the center of town, then why are your rents so low? And it didn't click. But what she said, I'm like, oh, that's right. Why are your rents so low? So they weren't as interested. But they are actually slowly unloading their portfolio to do more hotel investing.
Well, it's an interesting question that you asked us, Svalana, right? So if you say, hey, why are your rents so low? Are the rents low because rents are low in the area? Are the rents low because they are? Okay. So that's a problem.
No. It's not because they're low in the area. So that's the other thing we're doing now is we're validating the rent, the proper rent for the area. And I think for them, it's a combination. It is not that the rents in the area are so low. It's their rents are so low.
Oh, their rents. Okay.
Their rents were too low.
Right.
Okay, well that's great. That makes that may make that a really nice buy. Value add buy.
Yeah. So that one they weren't as interested. So that one I just got notification this morning that they're not interested, and I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
But I did put an offer in on that one. Okay.
But the flip
All right,
side
well,
of
that's
that
cool.
is we also made the connection with somebody that's got a $12 million portfolio
Yeah, exactly.
and is getting up there in age.
Right, and saying they want to go, right.
Inevitably, they'll be on
Yeah,
loan
that might
both
be
for
somebody
alternative
to
investment.
fly back there and have lunch or dinner with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
cool.
the other one that I put in a soft offer, like a verbal offer in. There was a house that we looked at. It's in a really nice neighborhood. I was speaking to the owner, which was awesome because they let me talk to the owner. And I chatted with her for about 45 minutes yesterday. And her house was in a really nice area. She gets $1,800 a month for rent, but she had water damage. So she has all kinds of water damage inside the house. Like the roof was leaking, and there's one little spot. There's all kinds of damage there, and she's fighting with her insurance company. And she's suing her insurance company, and they don't have public adjusters out there. So that's something that we learned, right? There's no public adjusters out there. She tried to get a different adjuster, blah, blah, blah. And so I gave her a couple options. I'm like, look, if you want to stay in your house, that's great. I said, because we focused on, and we said it to the realtor too, that we're more about a win-win. If I can help you, and you want to keep your house, I'm like, if there's something I can do to help you, I'm happy to do it. I said, if you want to just unload this, I said, I'm happy to buy it from you. If you want to fix it up, I can always make a suggestion or two. You know what I mean? So we gave her a couple options, and she was so excited to talk to me. It was, you could feel the relief coming off her neck.
That's
you know
awesome.
what I mean? So it was just great. And I gave her a soft offer. I said,
she did what?
She said she wants to put some numbers together for her to make sure it works for her, and then to give her a call back on Wednesday.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so
definitely reach out.
I will. I'll reach out.
See what happens, because that could be definitely an opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you could play where if the insurance company owes you money, you keep the money the insurance company owes you.
I suggested that. I'm like, you can keep the money, and I'll just take it over. It's not a big deal. And I also, I asked her if she had a mortgage on the house. She has a $50,000 mortgage on the house. And I'm like, I could take that over. And I'm like, what is it you're going to do with the money? She goes, I want to pay off some bills. I'm like, tell me what bills you're looking to pay off,
Right.
And she's like, and I want to give my daughter $10,000 for her getting out of college. And I'm like, maybe we could work something out. You know?
Exactly.
And she's just like, you would do that? I'm like, yeah, it's if we get to our number, I'm like, and you're just going to put it there anyway. I said, let me do it for you. I'm like, it's not a problem for me. And she was just like, oh my God. I'm telling you, she was so happy to talk to me. It was just great. I'm
actually surprised she hasn't reached out to you since.
We just discussed it yesterday. I just got on off the phone with her yesterday.
Okay.
It was like 4:00, right?
Okay.
So
now she's calling all her broke friends and saying, "This woman wants to do this. I wouldn't trust her."
Well, I don't know. I guess she was excited when we chatted. So hopefully she'll be excited. Yeah. And then the other one that we're waiting to hear back from, I reached out to the realtor. It's 2 duplexes side by side. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I told you they're ranchers, so they're small. We were able to get into one of them. It definitely needs a new kitchen and cleaned up and whatever. So we told them that we would like to make an offer on that one, and I was asking to speak to the seller so I can see if they have a mortgage on it and to see what's going on and why they're selling and what they're going to do with money, all the questions that we ask. So I'm still waiting to hear. I reached out to her twice, so we're waiting to hear back from her.
Very cool.
So,
all right, so this is pretty exciting.
I'm excited.
I can tell. I like it when you get
excited.
excited.
I'm
It's
so
so
excited.
nice. Is it exciting as your car or no?
What was funny, but you never let me finish because apparently the chit chat woman thing was too much for you. Was when we were picking up the rental, we had a Toyota RAV4. I think is that what we had?
That's exactly right.
We had a Toyota RAV4. We're looking at it like, what the heck is this, right? Because Svetlana drives a BMW. I am now driving a BMW.
You have a BMW now.
Yeah, and you're driving a BMW, and we're like, and I'm realizing how nice the BMW is and all the features it has, right? So we get over to this RAV4 and nothing unlocks. We're like, okay. The door doesn't open.
You had to actually push a button to unlock the door,
I know.
right?
The back door doesn't open. We had to hit the thing to unopen and to open itself up. And then, you have to put Svetlana's driving. She drove the whole time. She's like, how do I start this thing? I'm like, put the key in the ignition.
I know, right?
Yeah, remember that key in the ignition thing?
It was so funny. We were just laughing, right? And then she hits the gas and nothing happens. And it was like we were just joking around about this car the whole time because it was so not the BMW. And then you walk away, it doesn't lock, just like little things that were, I'm starting to take for granted.
Right,
and
exactly. That's the difference between a luxury car and a non-luxury car, right?
It was so funny because the whole time we were just joking around about this car. So
we could have covered twice the ground had the thing actually reacted when the gas pedal gets pushed down.
I mean, you hear this like, but it doesn't go anywhere. Like it was just hysterical.
Yeah.
It was hysterical.
You could, so here's the thing, right? You're stepping up, right?
Yeah.
So rent a nicer car.
We realized it afterwards.
You ever notice how much a nicer car is to rent? It's not much more. It's like $10 more a day.
Yeah.
It's nothing. So I always get an SUV because I have to have an SUV.
Yeah.
So I always get an SUV, and I always get one like the stepped up one.
Yeah.
Just slightly stepped up.
I think moving forward, we're definitely going that route.
Yeah.
It was funny because we did pass a Jeep, and I'm like, "Oh, it's a Jeep! Look at the Jeep!" And Svetlana was like, "Should we go back and get the Jeep?" I'm like, "No, we already got a car. Whatever. Who cares?"
I offered.
She did offer.
You know what you do next time?
What's that?
If they have exotics for rent an exotic. Like
Just be careful what part of town you go to with that exotic.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess you're right. But yeah, I mean, I would do that. I'd go to a place and just like I'd see an exotic. I'd write, I'm going to rent that car.
Yeah.
And you rent it for. I mean, it's expensive. Those are like $200 a day.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just fun. I remember it was funny. A bunch of friends of mine and I we were going to see some motorcycle museum. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And some motorcycle museum, and we're dickering over the price of the car.
Okay.
The rental at the rental desk, and it was like, the app says we can get it for $50, and you want to charge us $60. And the guy's like, well, you got to do it on the app. We're literally arguing over $10, right? And then we go downstairs and we see 4 Corvettes, and at the exotic, and we walk over to the guy and go, how do we rent those? And he goes, well, you can rent them. They're exotics. They're $200 a day plus blah blah blah. And I'm like, we're gonna take those. So we each took one, and we kind of raced.
That's funny.
So over $10, we turned into like $1,000 in rental cars, which was kind of funny.
What an experience!
Yeah, it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I saw videos of us, burning them out.
Yeah. No, it was fun. That's what I mean. It was fun, and I think you're right. I think moving forward, we'll probably get a nicer car. Because it was. I think we were both kind of.
Where'd you park in the airport?
In here in Philly.
Philly, yeah.
Yeah, in the right
short term.
The short-term parking.
Oh,
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah,
we got you no longer doing the economy parking, right?
Yeah, I usually did the parking spot, and we did not do parking spot this time. For years, I've done parking
on the
spot.
Bus.
Yeah, no.
Well, look at that look. Svetlana's giving me a look like, what are you thinking? I'm like, I don't know. I used to do long-term parking, and then with the airport, and then they closed. Remember all the parking? So then I switched to the parking spot, and I've been doing that for years.
Right.
But the last couple times we've been parking right when you get out, so I've been parking.
And when you get the American Airlines card, which now is going to be City card, it's actually not going to be Barclays anymore. You get the City card, the American Airlines City card. You can go into the private lot, and you pay less, and it's right next to the terminal.
Yeah.
I do have a card, airline, that one.
Right.
Yeah, it is a city. There are a couple city cards actually.
It's not the black one. It's like the gray one. I forget which one it is.
Yeah.
Executive.
But, so there was a fraud alert on it for 38 cents. Did I tell you this? For 38 cents, and they told me that my card would come in last week, and it still hasn't come in. Because that's the card I primarily use as my main card, and I haven't been able to use it. So it's still not here. It still hasn't. It's been 2 weeks now, but all for 38 cents.
So let's do this. We're gonna take a commercial in a couple of seconds, and we're gonna get back to anybody who has any questions. We're gonna talk about some other things too. But Svetlana, why don't you tell everybody the phone number?
855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. And one last time, that would be 855-939-1137.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Hey, this is... How many times are you going to listen to my voice before you finally go to investorschooling.com? I can't believe you haven't signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn real estate investing. You're going to learn stock options trading. You're going to learn things about money that you didn't even know existed. Go to investorschooling.com right now. Oh my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there.
The flood damage house would be great.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate.
because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. And I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. I've been talking about myself for all these years. Now it's time for you to hear from one of our great clients.
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher, teaches about the whole new approach to thinking about money. I've taken to heart many of the things that he's taught me, and my financial life has improved.
Come to Investor Schooling, and you could be just like Charlie and change your financial life. Go to investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that we have a radio show right here on WPHT every Saturday at 1 o'clock? It's called The Larry Steinhouse Show. And you want to listen to this show because it's a live show and you can call in. In fact, here's the call-in number.
855-939-1137.
Svetlana does it better.
And when you call in, you can ask us questions about real estate, the stock market, even politics. Make sure you tune in Saturday, 1 o'clock. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that there are so many different...
All right, coming back in 30 unless you want a little more time.
No, that's fine.
No, we're good.
Learn this Thursday by taking a free class on Investor Schooling. Come to Investor Schooling and you will learn so many different ways that you can make more money in retirement than you actually expected to. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday. That's investorschooling.com. That's
Here we go.
.com. We'll see you there.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
All right, welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I am Larry Steinhouse. I'm here with two beautiful women. I'm here with Dr. Deb Anderson and Svetlana Gordetsky. Is that right? Gordetsky. I said her name right.
Absolutely right.
You know, I just wasn't sure. I was afraid to say it wrong, but that's okay.
Not a big deal.
Because other people have said it wrong before, right?
Oh, many times.
I know.
If I only had a dime.
Yeah, you'd be as rich as you are now learning all these stock options.
But a lot less fun than being here and learning stock options.
All right. So Svetlana, as you heard before, she's a student of ours. She's starting to hang around the school, and we're really appreciating her. And the cool thing is, what's going to happen on Monday? Do you remember what this Monday is?
We're trading on Monday.
Monday is the Onyx Club. So this is the coolest thing. We actually have what's called the Onyx Club, where we all get together and we trade together. Now, we have the fund, so you guys have probably heard about this before. We have the Sultan Income Fund, and if you want more information on that, you could actually just send a text message. 26786 is the phone number. You can send a message to 26786 and send the word Sultan in a text message to 26786. You get more information about the Sultan Fund. But as you know, what we do is we trade. We're trading. We have a fund, and we're trading for other people, and we make a lot of money in this fund. We're typically, we say that we're paying between 3% and 4% to our investors a month, but we're not allowed to say that anymore because our attorney says we're not allowed to say that anymore. So we simply say that our attorney says it's a return so high that we can't say what it is. However, but the thing is, we actually let those students watch us trade that money. Yeah. Now, that's really cool because there's so much to learn while you're watching us trade that money. So it's Brian and I. So if you guys have heard Brian Lorman before on the radio, Brian is the stock option aviator. I am the stock option sultan. And together we trade this, we make decisions based on what we think is the best interests of our investors, and you can listen to the decisions being made. So it's a really cool way to do it. Plus, we have the Onyx program where we can actually trade for you while you learn. So you actually learn how to do this and trade for you. But the cool thing is you don't have to be in the fund. You could just learn how to do it yourself. So it's a really cool thing. Actually, Kimmy's online right now, and she can't wait because she said it's going to be our first Onyx Club meeting, and she can't wait to see it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Omri won't be there because Omri's in Florida right now. Omri's at the mobile home park. So the wild thing about the mobile home park right now, we have one house in this mobile home park. It's actually the only real house. Okay. Like there's mobile homes and there's a couple of cottages. But we have one house. It's a 3-bedroom house. It's a really nice house, actually. And it's we decided to keep it. Like we were not going to rent it out. We decided to keep it for ourselves. Okay. So like Omri will go there. I'll go there. If we ever want to go to Florida. or when Omri and I go together, we'll have a place to stay. So he's staying there right now with his family. Now, I just think that's weird. Now, Omri's weird anyway.
What's weird? That he's staying there with his family?
Staying at the park, the mobile home park, with his family at this house. Now, the house is nice, and his family's great. Actually, the grounds are beautiful because it's coming along so beautifully. We're actually doing such a great job making it look nice.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of weird because now you got the tenants there who know who he is, and they may or may not bother him. I don't think they're bothering him though.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's still a mobile home park, But it's on the water. The water's beautiful. We got kayaks there.
Yeah.
We got we don't have a boat yet. We have 2 docks. We don't have a boat yet, so that might be pretty cool. Anyway, so Omri's there with his family right now, and he's going to be there for the next few days, enjoying himself and also working on the park at once. So he can making a working vacation.
Yeah, sure.
Which is really, really neat too. So the mobile home park is coming along. That's coming along. You guys are doing this thing, and what else? I don't know what else is going on for you guys.
I don't know. I mean, we still have some follow up to do from Arkansas. I have a list of things. Thank you for sending me the list. I have a list of things to do. But I don't know. I'm just really excited about it, and it just has given me a lot of energy and excitement. And I'm just, I was, like I said, I did those videos, and what was kind of like a little bit annoying is I asked my husband if he was watching the videos and keeping up. He's like, no, and I'm like,
I wasn't watching them either.
Oh, good to know. Thanks so much.
I saw them. And I saw them and I didn't,
Oh, you of all people, I would think would have watched it.
So I actually had planned to. This is one of the things, it's like it depends what time they come up, right? If they come up in the middle of doing something, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I want to watch this video, and then I forget because it doesn't come back up. So I kind of forgot, and then so that's kind of why I didn't watch it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 2 of them got over 200 views, so somebody's
awesome.
Watching them.
Well, hey.
Yeah. Not that I really care about the views, but it's just like somebody's watching it because I got notifications on that.
That's great. Yeah, that's
that
great.
People are watching them, so that's pretty cool. And we were talking about it in class on Thursday, so I was pretty excited just to kind of talk about what was going on.
This sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like you guys are having a blast doing this.
Yeah. I'd like to go back down. We actually went to a pawn shop. We were walking around a pawn shop.
You went to a porn shop?
Pawn.
That would be pawn.
A porn shop?
Pawn.
A porn shop?
No, not a pawn shop.
What did you buy?
A pawn shop. Pawn. Am I saying it wrong?
No, that would be pawn.
Oh, pawn. How do you say pawn? It's that accent that I have.
I knew what you meant, but I
I know. It's that accent I have.
The problem was, Omri's not here, so I couldn't.
Although we did get called out about our accent a couple times.
Yeah, you had an accent?
Yeah, apparently I have an accent. Yeah.
Well, when you're
they didn't notice
Arkansas.
Svelana's accent, did they?
Yeah, no. I sounded native to them. It was great.
Yeah, she was
y'all
native.
And folks, and you're good.
Yeah, they're like, I know what was funny. You know what was funny? Of all things,
they
right?
probably thought they were being invaded when they heard your accent.
Well, I lived down south for about 7 years. So
oh, did you? Okay.
I can do Southern.
Let me hear you do Southern.
Y'all. You just say y'all, and I still to this day I say folks.
Y'all with a Russian accent.
Y'all
yeah,
with a Russian accent.
It's fantastic. When I lived,
there's just I don't know. There's just so many funny things to say to that. I don't even know what they are.
Yeah. So I lived in the South for 7 years, and for 7 years I was told that I'm from New York. I have a New York accent, which obviously anybody from up here knows that I do not have a New York accent.
Yeah, no.
But down south, it turned to New York.
Yeah, it's strange.
All right. What was interesting is that when we got the rental, of all places in the 50 United States, the license plate was from. Guess where? It was from New York.
Yeah, right. And then you were all worried that the New Yorkers are coming over.
Yeah,
but that might have been good because they might have thought you had money.
Oh, maybe. But, I mean, for the most part, everybody was pretty nice. But there was one time some guy was screaming and beeping at us in the car. And I'm like, the only reason he's doing that is because he thinks we're from New York.
Oh, he's doing that because he saw 2 hot chicks in the car.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, come on. You guys don't have a good imagination. I mean, don't think negative. Think positive.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
But I think the key from the trip, right, is as you pointed out, Larry, we went there with a lot of research that Deb did.
It's pretty wild, yeah.
But other than that, no firm plan.
Yeah.
So considering we had literally one business day,
sure.
we got a ton done. And as Deb mentioned, she made 2 offers.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And I think there could be more from the properties that we saw. So the key is a very productive day and a ton of follow-up, which means we're already planning trip number 2.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we have to plan
when
trip
is
number
that
2.
going?
I think at the very latest it'll be in July.
Okay. Cool.
But I'm guessing probably earlier than that.
Yeah, I'm
if
thinking
we can
June
get
or
a couple
July.
things going.
Yeah, I'm thinking June or July.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I did a lot of research on, so you guys know I do a lot of tax deed stuff, and Arkansas is a tax deed state, which means when they go up for auction, you get the property, not the lien.
Right.
Because
You don't have to wait. Right.
You don't have to wait.
That's great.
So I was looking
So when
at
is the next auction?
next auction is in September.
Ooh.
Yeah, next auction is in September.
Have you already booked your flight?
I have not booked my flight, but
I book flights around here.
she does all that stuff, which was so awesome. I have to
Right.
say thank you so much. She did it all. It was just great.
Looks like you might have found a partner.
I maybe,
No,
and we actually
that
got
would be
along
pretty
the whole
good.
time, which
That's
was really
pretty
cool.
good. Yeah,
There wasn't like a point where it was tense or anything. We just had
was a
fun.
blast.
Yeah, we
There you
just
go.
had fun.
That's great. Awesome.
Yeah, but the list will come out 30 days before.
Okay.
That's how that works. So the list will come out 30 days before. So that means we have to plan a trip for August. So I could do the physical research. I could do the online research at home, but I need to do the physical research in person within 30 daas, and then we
Nice.
could do the auction. So that's another opportunity to get properties that way, which would be really cool. And
And then what's the period of time you have that you have to put 10% down at the auction? When do you have to come up with the rest?
I have to do the research on their auctions because because it's so far away.
Right.
I wasn't worried about it.
Because we had that problem. Omri and I had that problem. We had 10 days to buy that one property.
No, but you did sheriff's sale.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You
right.
did a sheriff's sale, so tax deed auctions are not the same.
So how long are they?
How long are they?
So when you go to the sheriff's, when you go to tax deed auction sale, you have to put a deposit down, right?
It depends on the county. They're different. If you go to Delaware County, you got to put $1,000 down. But if you go to Luzerne County, you don't have to put anything down.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it just
And
depends on the county. They're all
then
different.
how long do you have to come up with the money, though? 30 days, 45 days?
That
90
also
days?
depends. So Philly is 15 days. Lancaster, they'll stop the auction so that you pay. Luzerne, you have to pay by 4 o'clock. So every county's different.
Okay.
Don't you ever listen to my presentations? Come on.
I do listen to your presentations, but the other people listening to the show don't.
Okay. All right, calm down. Whatever. Hostility. No hostility.
All right.
I have to look at the details.
Why don't you give us the phone number again?
That'll be 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. And one more time, that would be 855-939-1137.
And you guys can call about anything. You can call about the stock market. Actually, I want to talk about the stock market in a couple of seconds. We can talk about the stock market. We can talk about real estate. We can talk about anything you guys got going on. Anything that has to do with money. It's funny. We talk about money all the time. And it's very funny because people don't understand it. We know a lot of things about money that most people have no clue. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to do it. Somebody, wait, read that.
A caller named Omri or something, who knows, wants the address for the porn store. He's on the line, and he made me say that I take no responsibility.
Listen, do we have our quota for immigrants today, or should we let him in?
Let Omri come in.
Let Omri come in, man. Come on.
Let's go, immigrant 2, or you're immigrant 1. She's immigrant 2.
There we go.
What's going on, immigrant 1?
You treat immigrants horribly in this country.
How's the mobile home park doing?
They're so disposable. I didn't know.
Well, you're not here, so we had to get a replacement, and Svetlana just came right in line, so it worked out.
Just keeping your chair warm.
Guys, I need to make it very clear, okay? That's 855-939-1137. I don't know what
how is it again?
The accent just
How
said.
is it again?
It's only your number.
939-1137.
I don't know. You didn't do it as good as you usually do it.
I know Svetlana's sexy when she does
Yeah.
hers. She's sexy when she does it.
Because I get the accent. I get the southern accent.
Why don't you guys do it together? 1, 2, 3.
855-939-1137.
Omri didn't do it.
Omri didn't do it.
No.
I prefer her, to be honest with you. Give me, I don't know. There is something with the Russian accent. I can't
know.
tell you what it is.
She does it good. I'm
I
telling you,
know.
she does it
Yeah,
good.
so.
She does it
The
good.
Israeli accent's pretty good too, but the Russian accent definitely.
Yeah.
Israeli's the best.
Yeah.
But I'm just keeping the chair warm for you, Omri. Come on back.
I appreciate that. What are you doing on the chair to make it wrong?
Oh, that's an off-the-air discussion.
That's so Omri. That's so Omri.
I know.
to say
See,
that.
that's what we miss.
I
We
love
miss
that.
him because he's not doing this.
Yeah.
Did you there was so many
So I
innuendos
guess
you missed, man. The porn star was
I
the
need
best.
to understand. Exactly. Is there actually a porn store, or it's just no?
It's Pond.
We weren't looking, but we did find a porn
is there
store.
a porn? I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is.
We didn't see anything.
every area there's a porn store.
You know what they had, which was so funny, we
good.
were laughing about? They had a takeout hibachi place.
Yeah.
Take out hibachi place.
Yeah, they did. It wasn't an eat-in hibachi. It was a takeout hibachi.
Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting.
So
And there was
you
a...
basically
Yeah.
you basically take the chef home with you, and it's
That's right.
I guess so. And they had a rock and roll sushi, which we thought was very interesting considering it's a landlocked state. So we're kind of curious about that whole seafood thing. You know, I just whatever.
We avoided seafood, but
yeah, we avoided the seafood.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay, I got you. It's not exactly the place for seafood. I understand.
it's not the place for seafood.
landlocked.
But they did advertise it. They advertised the lobster and they advertised the shrimp, and we're like, yeah, it's clearly not fresh, but hey, whatever you're into, hey, why not? We did go to a really good steak place.
You're making too much noise over there. What are you doing?
It could be because I'm on the street. I just heard porn store and I called.
Is that it? That's why you just called? You don't want to contribute anything? We're just going to talk about porn stores?
I can tell you that every time I look in my Charles Schwab account and I see where my options are, of course all of them are expired, but where my stocks are at, I'm just laughing.
What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing that it was so close with so many of them.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
still
yeah,
own
yeah.
Stellantis, by the way?
No.
I don't even know what my account. I haven't looked at it in a couple days.
Where did Stellantis go up to? I missed it.
Stellantis is over 7.5, which is awesome.
Okay, it's been sitting there for a while then. Okay, all right. So let's talk.
I hope so.
Let's do this. Let's talk about the stock market right now. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on. So we all know about 6 weeks ago, I guess it was, we started a sort of war. With Iran, and that affected the stock market mostly because Omri, you're making me too much noise. I'm going to have to let you go.
Trying to call you later when I'm inside, guys.
All right, you got it. Okay, call
Sounds
back
good.
later. Okay, bye. All
Oh
right.
my gosh, look at that.
All right, so hold on. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at like my chart that just goes like this.
Your chart of like your stocks or
My chart here, my total value.
yeah. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, so it's going down. That's But that's everybody's.
No, I know. It's just
value's
like
going down.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
So here's the thing, right? So there's no magic bullet. There's no way to know when the stock market's going to go up or down. The only thing there is there's ways to learn how to make it not matter.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. We're teaching ways to make it not matter. So we're getting incomes. We're teaching income. So the exact strategy we use in the fund, we teach everybody. And Svetlana, you're making a lot of money now, right? Every month.
I am.
What do you make a month?
I suppose the lawyers wouldn't allow me to say it, but since I haven't spoken to them yet, that's averaging 6 to 8% a month.
Okay, cool.
On my money.
Okay, great, and it's a big number too. You're right. You're probably right because they probably, who knows, but whatever. But it's a big number, and it's enough that you quit your job.
That's correct.
And so let's put it this way: how much money were you making in your job?
I was making very, very, very well into the 6 figures.
Okay, cool. So now she's perfect answers. Perfect answers. Okay, so she's replaced that income with what we taught her. Now you understand that most of the it's funny because I got a couple of calls. But we have hundreds of students doing this. We have hundreds of students learning it, and it's always the new ones, that they get nervous. Because they just get in and like, oh no, the stock's going down. Like, don't worry, it doesn't matter. The stock going down doesn't matter. Matter of fact, the interesting part is the price of stock doesn't matter at all. What matters is how you handle the calls that you're selling on each stock, and that's what we teach you how to do. We teach you how to do it the right way. So the exact way that we're doing the Sultan Fund, we teach you exactly what we're doing. So we're doing this with tens of millions of dollars, and we're going to teach you how to do exactly what we do on how we make money for other people. Now you could actually have us do it for you if you want to become part of the fund. You can actually go to Sultan. You can actually send a text message. 26786 is the phone number. You can text the word Sultan, and that fund, actually, the Sultan Fund is actually closed, but there's a new fund opening in June. It's also private placement memorandum only. Accredited investors only, private placement memorandum, your risk of losing your principal, blah, 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 whatever the attorneys I'm supposed to say. But it's all outlined on the webpage anyway. You'll see all the disclaimers. But the cool part is it's really working. And Svetlana's doing it. Debbie's doing it. Omri was just talking about how he's doing it. Everybody's making money doing this. And I'm making a lot of money doing it too, and I'm really enjoying it. And the students are making money. It's one of the greatest things that you could ever learn is this exact strategy that we teach.
You know what's really nice about it is that, like, I remember we had a student who he joined maybe 2 months ago, and I know he was really hesitant, and he asked to speak to some of our other students just to see if it was real and that kind of thing. And we, you know, of course we were okay with it as long as our students were okay with it. And then I saw him at the last, at your house the last time, and he was just like so happy.
Oh, is this Ross?
What's that?
Ross?
No,
okay.
It wasn't Ross. But it was just like, he was so happy, and he's like, wow, this is really working. This is how this, you know, and he was just like, floored and just like really surprised. And watching you guys, he's like, they're really doing this. It's like, yeah, this whole thing is really real, you know. But it was so because he had such reservations, and he was so. I think he spoke to 3 different students because we gave him 2, and he's like, "Can I speak to one more?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let me just double check it's okay." He spoke. Yeah, you were one of the ones he spoke to, and he was just like, "I'm so glad I did this." He's just like, "This is so cool." And I'm like, "Yeah,
it is the greatest thing that we've ever come up with." Now, you know, we've taught a lot of great things. People make a lot of money with us. But this one particular strategy that we're teaching and the way we teach it, because you got to understand the strategy's out there. But if you don't do it exactly the way we teach you how to do it, the chances of losing money get very high.
Yeah.
And we're teaching you how to do it with really low risk. And I shouldn't say really low risk because, you know, there's always risk. But I say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being ridiculous risk, we're like a 3-4 was what we're teaching, right? And the new fund, same thing. We have, you know, same kind of things going on. We're not going to have. It's going to be the same, basically the same kind of risk, and it's going to be some slightly different things that we're going to be doing. So again, if you're interested in the fund, 26786, send the word Sultan. If you're interested in learning how to do it and you don't want to put money in the fund or learning how to do it, or if you're not an accredited investor, come and learn how to do it. And learn how to do it. It's just as much fun. You'll really enjoy it. So just, you know, go to investorschooling.com. You can learn how to do it. You can reach out to us anytime. Yeah. All right. What else do we want to give away? Want to give away a book?
Yeah, we should give away a book.
All right. So we probably don't have time to do a contest to give away a book, but I'll tell you what. If anybody wants to get a free copy of my book, it's called Money Hacks, and the subtitle is Because Everything You Think You Know About Money is Wrong. You can send a text message to the same number, 26786. Send the word HACKS, HACKS, and you'll get a digital copy of the book. That's 26786. And send the word HACKS, and you'll get a digital copy of the book.
Or you could come in on a Thursday night class and get an actual copy.
You can get an actual copy, yeah.
And we can even get it signed for you if you really like.
Yeah, if you want. So it's funny. I noticed that like nobody asked me to sign it.
Nobody asked you to sign anymore?
So
they did for a while.
Very rarely. Like sometimes they do, very rare. But the weird thing with that is like, you know, I don't want to just sign it unless they ask me.
Okay.
After a year, you've got a lot of people asking you to sign, though.
Oh no, I know. But at the same time, it's like, you know, like you give them the book and nobody comes up to me and says, "Will you sign it?" Because I just don't want to sign it unless they ask me to.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, you know, if you don't care, I don't care.
Well, the ones we send out like by mail, I usually have you sign.
Yeah, right.
I usually have you sign them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Somebody online said after you gave the number, they need to go smoke a cigarette. That's hysterical. Hysterical.
I told you, Svetlana's man. She's sexy. When she does that voice, she's sexy.
Yeah, give it out again.
That's 855.
No, get into it.
855.
No, really get into it.
Come on, hold it and do it.
You know.
All right, gang. It's 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137.
All right, that was good. I like it. Do it again.
855-939-1137.
All right.
And after that, please call, guys.
There you go. And you know now he's going out to get another cigarette, I'm sure.
There you go.
That's right. We'll buy him a fresh pack.
That's so funny.
All right, so cool things real quick. So we got like 4 minutes left to this show, and then of course we got the second hour coming up after this. But we got 4 minutes left to this show. What what words of wisdom would you like to give all the listeners, Svetlana?
So there are two things, after being here almost a year, I think there are two key things that differentiate investor schooling from everything I've seen out there, and I've seen a lot. I've done extensive research. Number one is everything is built on mindset. And Larry, when you say that everything that you know about money or you think you know about money is wrong, you don't know how true that is until you get exposed to the investor schooling philosophy. And again, we didn't invent it.
Yeah, sure.
But the fact is, the way it's taught and the things that are emphasized and highlighted, you will really appreciate it. So that's differentiator number one to me, is the mindset, because that's the foundation of everything else that you learn. And the second differentiator to me is the systematization of what you teach. So again, none of these concepts were invented by investor schooling. A lot of people out there doing options trading, but the reason that so many investor schooling students are so successful is because of the way that you've systematized it based on decades of trading. Yeah. So those are the two huge differentiators to me, and those are responsible, in my opinion, those are responsible for the skyrocketing success of investor schooling students.
Very cool. We need to have Svetlana do an actual commercial now.
I know.
So, and what's his name? What was the guy? Ross? What was the guy? Alex. The guy who was complaining that said, I do all the commercials.
What?
That guy months ago that was talking about.
Oh, Alex, yes. I remember Alex.
He was complaining, saying that, that I do all the commercials. So maybe we
and that you're completely unprofessional in the process.
Completely unprofessional.
Completely unprofessional.
And you know what? And to me, that's a compliment, but, he doesn't get it. I wonder if he still listens to the show.
I don't know. If Alex, if you're
still listening, you should call in and tell us how much we,
how unprofessional we are.
How unprofessional we are, and how much more money we'd be making if we were listening to you while you sit at home doing nothing with no income. Because that's what he told us. Remember, he said he had no income.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Anyway, I don't want to beat him up anymore. We already beat him up that night.
Yeah.
And then he called me 3 times and left me 3 voicemails about how unprofessional I was because because he thought that he was
scared to hurt your feelings or something.
He was hurting my feelings.
Yeah, he was scared to hurt your feelings.
Unprofessional, but wildly successful. Take your pick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the same thing. I don't care as long as I'm successful, as long as my students are successful, as long as everybody's making money, I'll be as unprofessional as I possibly can.
There you go.
I mean, look, I got Omri talking about dirty underwear. Right? I mean, if Omri talks about dirty underwear, then obviously we're pretty unprofessional.
That must have been the last show that I missed, I guess.
No, it was a couple of shows ago. I don't remember. I think you were here.
Was I here? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. All right. Anyway, I want to thank all the listeners for listening to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I am Larry Steinhouse. We were here with Svetlana, and we were here with Dr. Deb. We were having a blast today. And Omri called in, too, if you heard that, right? So we had 2. We literally had, what do we call that, an immigrant and a half? Yeah, I guess, anyway. So we had 2 immigrants on the show at once, whatever it might be. But if you want to go to investorschooling.com, you can take a free class. That's investorschooling.com. If you want a free copy of my book, send a text message to 26786, the word HACKS. And if you want to find out more about the Sultan Income Fund, just send the word Sultan to the same number, 26786. We'll see you Thursday.
This program is paid for.
You are clear.
All right.
Answer statements expressed on the program are solely those of investor schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions.
All right, everybody online. We'll be back in a minute or 2.
It's funny that Omri called in.
I knew he was calling.
I just knew he was
calling because he can't resist.
Automobile Studios, powering your drive for 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Nick Kale. Springtime means time to choose My Lawn Care Company.
Natural Lawn
of America. Natural Lawn delivers great results and is safer for your family and pets.
And you
At
shall
Natural
get
Lawn,
them.
they use environmentally friendly products to grow lush, green lawns naturally. Get started today. Schedule Natural Lawns.
I'm telling you,
Larry?
that roof down.
Yeah.
Free seating.
Are you okay going at 2 minutes and 30 seconds after?
Sure.
Free seed now.
Come on, Glenn.
Natural Lawn.
I know, I'm slipping.
Fuel.
No, they've got this Final Four promo in here, and I have a feeling they want it played.
Whatever.
Dale tried to.
We're easy.
Winning isn't everything.
Let
Dale's
that
a
get around.
loser. I played a win.
Well, I did get knocked
like early
up twice,
payout from
so.
Bet365. If my team
There you
goes
go.
up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Bet365.
I don't understand why ChatGPT typing
problem?
is
Call
one
1-800-GAMBLER.
type.
21 plus
Again?
only. Must be
Yeah,
physically
it's
located
stuck.
in Pennsylvania. TNC's
It's
apply.
happened to me.
In
It's
Apple.
happened to me
My
last
name
week
is
too.
Whitney Allen, and
It's
I'm a widow.
fine on my
husband
phone.
Ryan
Like,
died.
there's
We
no
never
problem with
thought
it on my
we'd ever
phone.
have
Might
to
be
use
a
life insurance,
window.
but the unexpected
I have
happened.
it sometimes.
With
I have
Ethos,
trouble with it, and
signing
I
up
have to
was
restart
fast
it.
and 100% online. You can get a quote in
did that,
seconds, apply in minutes, and
I
get
was thinking of switching to
same-day
Claude.
coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million
I'm gonna
worth
try
of
Claude,
coverage.
just
I'm
to see what the
grateful
differences
we were
are.
prepared.
Yeah, I want to
Get
try
your
Claude.
free
I keep
quote
hearing
at
about Claude.
ethos.com.
I'll have to try
I
Claude.
haven't heard about that. Who's that?
Claude, it's like another AI system.
Paid spokesperson.
But it can do stuff for you. Like you
Online
can say,
health
go
questions
into
required.
and
Audion
rename
Hearing,
my
our
files or
mission
go
is
into this
simple,
Word
to make
document
better
and
hearing
put bullet
affordable
points
for
in. Like
everyone.
it can actually
We're
do stuff where
proud to offer
ChatGPT
high-quality,
doesn't
rechargeable
have that
hearing aids
capability.
starting at just $9.
Right.
Clear, comfortable, and ready to...
Was it Claude?
Claude.
And
yeah,
here's
Claude.
a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com.
All right, intro in 30 seconds.
Alrighty.
The biggest weekend in college basketball. Saturday, it's the final stop on the road to the championship. The NCAA Final Four, battling for a shot at greatness. Michigan, Arizona, Connecticut, Illinois. And you'll hear all the action here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Live coverage starts Saturday afternoon at 4. Then, be here Monday night for the NCAA championship game. It's the final week.
Stand by.
And it's here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investor Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live.
You're hot.
The app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. Hey, we are officially on the second show of the day, right? And things are already a little bit different today because Omri's not here. And
We have an awesome replacement.
We have a new
sexier,
immigrant.
nicer voice replacement.
Yeah, we have a new immigrant, right? So now,
Immigrant the second.
Plus,
immigrant number 2.
Svetlana's easy to look at, so not that
Well,
Omri's
that's-
not. Let me rephrase that. This is going in the wrong direction.
This is, be careful, Deb.
Yeah, I'm like, I am straight. I swear to God, I'm
Omri,
straight.
we love you.
Yeah.
You gave up your Jeep and now you're becoming a lesbian?
No. I'm just realizing that that's going the wrong way. But, I'm totally straight, and I'll prefer to stay straight.
After that,
I
the
like
guy,
to
the
stay
guy who
straight.
commented before, he's now in his second pack of cigarettes. He's listening to Svetlana's voice. Now he's listening to Debbie say how hot Svetlana is. So
That's
this
totally
is like
coming off the wrong way.
This is become
Totally coming off the wrong way.
I always say this, right? This show is absolutely it's Howard Stern meets Jim Cramer.
That's
right?
fantastic.
And
That's
pretty
accurate.
much what the show is. So here we go. We're in the Howard Stern portion right now, while the lesbians across from me are talking about how hot they are and how much they want to buy property together.
There we go.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, whatever. Okay, anyway. All right.
Can we move on?
Can we wait?
Can we move on, please?
Here it is. Here we go.
Can we move on?
That's
Can
it.
we move on?
There we go. All right.
All right.
So if you're just tuning in, you're just tuning in, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this show. It's a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna be diving into stock options, real estate, investing, interest rates, and what's really going on in the economy right now. These girls are like so into each
I love
other.
you, but I'm not. I love you, but not that
If you-
way.
if you
I'm
want-
just
if
thinking.
you
I'm
want-
like,
I got
just
a
in the
camera.
property investment.
Just in the property
I got a
thing.
camera on both of you. If you want, I could use one camera and move you guys closer.
I'm just thinking. I'm like, that's so going the wrong way, and that's not what I meant. But I love you, but not like that. So
We're
it's
all good.
We're all good.
All right, everybody. If you guys want to call in and talk to these women, the phone number is
855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
all right. And if anybody wants to have another cigarette,
855-939-1137. 1137.
All right. You can call in with anything financial, real estate, investing, mortgages, whatever. Hey, Larry, should I do this? Or is it a terrible idea? Questions like that, if you want, that's fine. We've heard it all, and we'll probably even tell you the truth. Big thanks again to our featured sponsor, the Sultan Income Fund. Invest with the Sultan and collect like a king. You know, as I said before, if you guys want to find out more about this, we have another fund opening up in June. Actually, we're going to be starting taking deposits for it in May. It's by private placement memorandum only. You must be an accredited investor. And if you want to find out more information about that, you can send a text message to 26786, the word Sultan, to 26786, and you can find out more about that. You can fill out the information to find out it all. All right. Of course, there's no guarantee of future results. Past performance, no guarantee of future results, blah, 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 whatever. Listen, go read the disclosure, see what you think. If you have questions, we'll be more than happy to answer it. Also, of course, we want to thank Joe Keller at Cross Country Mortgage, the only guy I trust to get a mortgage, especially for deals over $2 million. He did a great job on my house. You can call Joe at 215-817-9084. And don't forget, if you want to learn how to do this stuff, instead of just listening to us talk about it, go to
investorschooling.com.
All right. You know how to do it, huh? Do it again.
investorschooling.com.
All right. And you can RSVP for this Thursday night. You can take a free class. And here we go. Omri's out. Svetlana is holding the international seat. And we are officially underway.
All right. So I have a little bit of news to share that has nothing to do with Arkansas. I got the final plumbing and HVAC inspection in Delaware. Woo! I got approved on Thursday, and so now I called the inspector trying to get the final inspection so that I can rent it out.
How long did you buy that property? A year ago, right?
No, it was last summer.
It was last summer. Okay.
It was last summer.
Okay,
So almost. Yeah, I guess
almost
like
year,
maybe 8 or 9 months ago. Yeah. So it took a little bit longer than we planned, but that was other stuff that happened. But blah blah blah.
Stuff happens.
Yeah. But and then I just rented out this morning. I rented out that property that I bought from Dee. So that I got I got a lady in there, so she'll probably not move in until like May or June, but that'll be fine. So that's squared away. But I do have a couple others that I have open, and I'm having some trouble getting them rented. So I'm gonna lower the price on them. But have you noticed any differences?
So there was actually an article, and I pulled it, and I didn't place it, but there's an article talking about this countrywide.
Okay.
Where rents are going down.
I've noticed that, like, I have to pull the rents down, which is fine. But so I had a couple people who were supposed to come to Delaware tomorrow, but they're not responding, so I'm probably not going to go. But I still, not that anybody can move in until all the inspections are done anyway. But but I'm still showing it to try to rent it, and then I have two down in like the Wilkes-Barre one and the other one that I'm having a little trouble renting. So I didn't know, what are you hearing and what's going on?
So the economy is definitely flat now. We're at a flat economy. We had 16 years of incredible economy. I mean, unbelievable. It's just like unbelievable. We should have had. The funny part was we should have went into a recession years ago. And, I'm hoping that I'm hoping that this didn't happen, that COVID wasn't another 9/11 situation, where I think it might have been. And this is kind of something that I was worried about. If you remember, I talked about this a few times. And if the timing is correct, we're going to be heading into a recession in 2028. If I'm correct in this timing situation, hopefully I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. But here's what happened. You got to remember in 2001, what happened in 2001? 2001 was 9/11, right? 9/11, the stock market tanked. Everybody was scared. World's coming to an end, blah, 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 which turned out to be a great buy. But, and the government infused the country with money. So in 2001, most people don't remember, but we started heading into a downturn in the market. We started to turn into, I noticed things were changing. They weren't as good as they were the year before. Like 2000 was great. 2001 was not so great.
Okay.
Now, if you also look at it, years before that, we had, we had about 7 years of a great run-up, which is typically what happens. So the markets typically go in 7-year cycles. So they go up 7 years, and they go down 7 years, they go up 7 years. It's right around 7 8 years. So in 2001, we were supposed to go into the down cycle. And we didn't because the government flooded the country with money. So instead of us going to a down cycle, we actually triggered a brand new upcycle. So what happened 7 years later? What year is it? 2008.
Right.
So 2008 was supposed to be going into a down cycle. Now, we go into a down cycle, but for some reason, we actually made up for 2 cycles. We made up for the down cycle we didn't go through, and we made up for the down cycle we normally go through. That's why 2008 was so bad. This is my theory, by the way.
Okay.
This is not what this is not the reality. It's just a theory because there's really no way to know. I mean, things just happen. So here we go again. We come to right around 2019, 2020 was supposed to be in a down cycle, and what happens? COVID. Now, COVID comes and, it was a mess, it was a complete scam, whatever.
Yeah.
But what does the government do?
Infuse money.
They flooded the country with money again. So here we go. Boom. The real estate market takes off. The stock market takes off. Everything takes off. And here we are. Now we have to head for the next down cycle, which is right around 2028, 2029.
Okay.
Now, normally it would just be, things just aren't as good. But if we have to double down like we did on 2008, it's going to be disastrous for a lot of people. That's why, especially now, you better prepare. You better have something aside. You better have some real estate, and not overpriced real estate. You better have real estate that people can, that can pay the rent and keep you going. Because these are all things that you're going to be missing out. You're going to have a problem if you don't have things set up properly. You need to have some money aside. And when I say money aside, I'm not talking about putting money in the bank. The worst thing you could ever do is say, put money in the bank. That's the worst place to ever put your money, is in a bank. I mean, you might as well put it in a mattress. It's safer, and you get the same interest. So why bother? So you want to put it into good, solid investments, maybe dividend-paying stocks, real estate, right? Just some of your money. Then you want to take some other stocks. You want to put it into a little bit riskier things, like like covered calls that we're doing. But we also, so covered calls is nice because it's a combination of owning the stock and making money on the stock option.
Yeah.
So to me that's what makes it a great investment, because it covers both sides. It makes some money now while you're sitting there making money later or waiting for things to settle down later. And it doesn't affect you as much. It doesn't, your income doesn't get affected that much, so you can make more income. So it's all coming. So now, to get back to where we all started, why are rents low? So rents are low because we're flat. Real estate's not going up. We're pretty much, housing prices are pretty much housing prices. Even gold and silver peaked, right? Gold peaked at 5,500. Silver peaked at 120-ish, whatever it was. And they're sitting tight. I actually said this, and it was really weird because I said 70 was going to be a point where silver was going to sit for a while, and it's going to bounce to 100, and then it's going to stay at 100 for a little while, and it's going to kind of stay there and kind of hover. Now it went to 100 really, really fast.
Yeah.
But it came right back to 70. So if you take that out, it's doing exactly what I said it's going to do. Now it'll work its way back to 100. It'll stay there for a while. It'll work its way back up, and it'll kind of sit there for a little, maybe a year or so at 100. Now, same thing with gold. I think we're done with gold. Gold, I had a friend of mine who's really, really intelligent, and the guy's so cerebral that he's one of those people that I have trouble talking to him because he's so cerebral. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But he luckily has a personality, because most people like that have no personality. So I actually can talk to him. But he did an analysis that I thought was the most amazing analysis. I don't have it in front of me, so I'm going to just kind of summarize it. But over the last, I think he ran 80 years. How many bars of gold does it take to buy an average house? So you take the price of gold, right? Whatever the price is currently, or whatever the price was, not currently, but let's say the price was in 1950, right? The price of gold, how much the average house is, how many bars of gold does, and when I say bars, I say 1 ounce pieces of gold.
Okay.
How many 1 ounce pieces of gold does it take to buy a house? So he ran this throughout the years. So on the average that he ran about 80 years. The average was 230 bars of gold per house, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
All right. Now here's the problem. Right now it's 80, which means two things. Either house prices are way too low, or gold prices are way too high.
Okay.
Now we already know that house prices are not too high, are not too low, right? So clearly gold is too high. So gold is obviously going to come down.
Okay.
It's probably going to come down to about half of what the peak was. So we're at about 5,000, 5,500. You're probably looking at 2,500, 2,300 to 2,500. So if you could short gold, now's a good time to short gold. based on his analysis. It's a great analysis. Based on his analysis, shorting gold will be a great idea.
Okay.
Now, silver, the interesting thing with silver is kind of maintained it. It kind of seems to be there. It kind of seems to be at the same number. So silver. I've been saying silver is the better investment anyway. I've been saying it for a long time, but for many other reasons besides the fact that gold is going up and silver is going up. Silver is also portable, more portable than gold. I mean, I can carry 3 coins of silver, worth about $70 right now. I can carry 3 coins of silver and exchange that for food or exchange it for anything else I want to exchange that for in what I call the zombie apocalypse, when the world goes to an end, whatever, right? But carrying 3 ounces of gold coins, that's $15,000. So I don't want to carry around $15,000. I'd rather, and have to give 1 coin to somebody. I would give 1 coin of silver. So that's why I look at it as silver being the better investment. Mm-hmm. So that's starting to happen. The recession, it's going to be a recession. It's going to happen. It always does. Now, the country's in more debt than it's ever been in, but that's not a problem. I'm not worried about debt. And also the country's working differently now than it ever did before. Now, you go on Amazon, you buy stuff on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Right. When you buy stuff on Amazon, all you do is hit order. You don't decide what credit card you're putting it on anymore. You don't decide, where. You don't decide. You don't even look at the price anymore, right?
No, I pay attention, but
how many? There are things I've ordered. I've ordered the same thing twice accidentally because I didn't even realize it. So what's happening now is we just click buttons now, and we just click buttons and click buttons and click buttons and click buttons, and then when the credit card bill comes, we click another button to pay the credit card bill, and then money's not real anymore. I mean, to me, it never was real as most people, but it's not real anymore. It's just a matter of moving money from here to 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 here, and that's going to be a major. It's going to catch up with people because one day somebody's going to open up. They're going to go, hey, you know what? I've been ordering stuff on Amazon or wherever I've been ordering or buying cars or doing this or doing the other thing. I don't want to be the one buying cars. I like buying cars. I don't want to be the. I don't want to be the one. I don't want to be the one I'm talking. I don't want to be the one I'm talking about.
Let's back up on track.
Right.
Come on.
I just don't want to be the one I'm talking about.
All right.
Right. And all of a sudden they go, wait a minute, I have to pay these bills now. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, my job, we don't have jobs, whatever. We have jobs sort of, right? But my job isn't either not paying the same as it was anymore, or I got laid off. And now, we had somebody interview here the other day. We're looking for a marketing manager, and we had somebody interview here. And the guy, very bright guy. He wasn't right for us, but very bright guy, right? But that guy was making $100. In the past, he was making $170,000 to $180,000 a year.
Wow. And
now he's laid off, and he's looking for another job. And frankly, I don't know where he's ever, based on his skill set, not based on his intelligence. Very intelligent guy. But based on his skill set, I don't even know how he was getting 178, 180 anyway. But
big corporate.
What?
Big corporate.
Corporate.
He had a job. His job was a big corporate.
But even corporate, I don't see how he could be making that much money. Based on that skill set, what does he bring? If he brought enough to the table, if he brings me an extra $2 million, $3 million a year, I'll give him $200,000 all day long. But I don't see, based on the skill set, how he can do that. And again, I'm not insulting the guy. I'm just trying to say, this is probably why he was laid off, was because he was making so much money, and they could hire somebody to do those skills for probably half. Right, so now you have this guy, and the reason I'm talking about this guy, he's used to making $170,000, $180,000, and he's going to have to settle for a job between $80,000 and $100,000 over the next 6 months he's off. He's got no severance pay, so this is going to happen. It's going to happen, and AI is going to start taking over a lot of jobs, right? A lot of things that he does, AI could do, but a lot of things, strategically AI can do certain things, but you got to think it out.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's what's happening. That's why rents are lowering, house prices are lowering, and remember, we're heading into a buyer's market. We're on the verge of a buyer's market. We're not in a seller's market anymore. We're kind of in a mid-market right now. So, and it's the same thing with rents and house prices. We're in a mid-market right now, where houses aren't selling that fast anymore.
Okay.
And you could wait to put an offer. Look at Omri. Omri keeps waiting to buy the perfect house, and every time I find the perfect house, he's I'm gonna wait. Drive me crazy, but he's not wrong. My opinion is, you find the perfect house, even if it's $50,000 overpriced, you just buy it.
If you're going to live in it, then
if
yeah.
you're going to live in it, exactly.
If you're
Right.
If
you're investing in it, it's totally different. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're making money when you buy the house. If you're an investment property, but if you're living in it, who cares?
Yeah.
What's an extra $300 a month if you're if you're going to have the lifestyle you want. So he and I have that argument all the time. Now he's doing something else. Remember, he has a bunch of rental property he's still renting, so he rents his house. My personal opinion, he should keep doing that because he's taking his money, he's deploying his money elsewhere in rental properties, and if he was to buy the house he's living in right now, he would probably pay $500 to $700 a month more in mortgage payments than to rent the house he's renting. Now, he also wants to move up into a bigger house, 5,000 square foot house. Not a 1,600 square foot rental. So I get that. And then once you hit that price, it doesn't matter anymore. You're not renting it anymore. You're just not. That's only a place that you would own. So here we go. So it's coming. So we know it's coming. And here's the sad part. If it happens during Trump's presidency,
he'll be blamed.
It'll be a bad legacy for Trump. And it'll be a shame. It really will be because he's doing such a great job. And people just, they really just don't know. The liberals who I hate Trump, no kings. You're clueless. You're just clueless of what a president's for, and you're clueless of what this country's become. And all you care about is the fact that that men can be women. Then you're just clueless. But what Trump's doing, even in Iran, it's absolutely important, imperative that he does what he's doing.
Yeah.
We got the Russian
Jew.
The Russian stateswoman right here.
I was going to say Russian woman,
the Russian
but okay.
stateswoman right here. I could tell you why it's so important that Iran be knocked down.
Yeah,
and even the Iranians, they're standing up screaming, "Thank you, Trump! Thank you, Trump!" And the freaking idiot liberals here standing up signs going, "We leave Iran alone." How dare you? How dare you? Really?
Yeah.
And it's about time somebody did that.
I was actually a little frustrated. I saw something on Facebook and it really made me mad. It was a guy spray painting the wall, kill ICE agents with targets. Did you see that?
Yeah, that guy should be arrested for enticing a riot.
Yeah, he should. But then, and I have somebody I know. I know him, and he was really stupid in what he posted on Facebook, just really stupid. And he, I guess I'm not going to get into it, but they went to his house and he's been arrested for making a really stupid comment on target practice for all this stuff, but somehow he gets arrested, but that guy who was spray painting the wall, kill ICE agents, use them as target practice, he's allowed to write that. So I just don't understand I don't understand that part, I guess I don't understand that part. But anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's what's going on. So the war is going to end. And here's the other thing too.
Which one? You're talking about Iran.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
Iran.
It's going to end, and it's going to end very positively for the world. Now, will it end 3 weeks from now? Will it end 3 months from now? Will it end 3 years from now? I don't know. I personally believe it'll be 3 weeks from now. The way Trump doesn't lie. He exaggerates, but he doesn't lie, right? So he says it's coming to an end soon. It's coming to an end soon. So soon to some might be a week, soon to some might be a month, soon to some might be 6 months, but whatever. It's coming to an end soon. So I really believe, unless something changes, he's not lying. He just exaggerates. He's a great guy, but he loves to exaggerate. So I'm not worried about the war. But the other thing too is, let's say it was an ongoing war. The weird part is people think that the stock market's going to come to a crash because of an ongoing war. It's not. What's happening is it's the most ridiculous thing. The stock market going down right now is the most ridiculous thing ever. It doesn't matter. The stock market's going down because oil prices are going up. First of all, oil prices are going up because that's called what's it called price gouging. What's it called?
Price fixing and price gouging.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So and they're basically they're saying, hey, let's we don't have an oil shortage problem, but let's pretend we do. Well, the news says we're going to have one, so let's raise prices on oil. So that's what's happening. Then people are paying that. Then other people are saying, well, if the price of oil goes up, then of course American Airlines or Carnival Cruise Lines, right? It's going to cost them more money to operate their ships. Right. And it's true, but it's temporary. And guess what? I already tell you right now, What do you think American Airlines and the cruise lines or the airlines and cruise lines are going to do if oil prices go up?
They're going to raise their
They're
prices.
going to raise their prices. They're not even going to notice. You're not even going to notice it.
I think United has already announced it.
Yeah, in fact, why even announce it? Just raise them. Who cares, right? And people are going to pay it. People aren't going to travel less. They're going to still travel. They're just going to do whatever they do. They're going to put it on their credit card because they can't afford it anyway. And they're going to put it on their credit card, and that's what's going to head to our real recession, which is 28, 29, would be my guess. But either way, it doesn't matter. The oil prices aren't making that much of a difference. It's temporary. It's absolutely temporary. Nothing to worry about. We have strategies because, a lot of our accounts are down. Even the actual fund itself is still generating the same income every month, but it's down, not a substantial amount, but it's a noticeable amount, right? But it's only temporary, and the way the whole fund works, it lets it be temporary. It's the coolest thing about the fund is that the market could go down, and we could have this correction. And the other thing about corrections that I'm going to talk about this actually. Let's talk about it right now. The thing about corrections in the stock market is once a year there's a correction. Almost every year once a year there's a correction. Sometimes there's 2 in a year. I hate it when there's 2 in a year, but there's usually always a correction. And here we go. We would talk about this about 3 weeks ago in class. I said, we're heading for a correction. I was like, yes, I can't wait. And people are like, what do you mean you can't wait? I said, I can't wait because once we hit that correction number, boom, the stock market's going to take back off and we're done with it. And sure enough, that happened about a week ago. And where are we? We saw a great week in the stock market this week. Thursday was low, but it wasn't terrible. It was down 80 points or something. Who cares? It was nothing. So we saw that week was a great week. We're going to see a couple more great weeks coming up. We're heading into earnings season. The market's going to come right back up. I'm going to predict by the end of next month, we're back over 50,000 in the Dow again. Easily in there, and this is all forgotten. And all those stocks that were down are all going to be up. Matter of fact, it's a great time to buy stocks. If you're buying stock, American Airlines, great time to buy American Airlines right now. Buy calls on American Airlines. Buy American Airlines stock at 10, whatever was it, 10.50? What is it? What is it right now? I don't even know. But what a great stock that is right now. Here we go. AAL. We've got come on. My computer's running really slow. You know what it is? It's an old machine. Yeah, 1080. So it's a $10.80 a share. It's a fantastic price. I mean, buy all you can. I mean, don't put all your money in. Just buy a substantial amount is what I'm trying to say. But don't go crazy with it.
Yeah, 1080. It's at
1080. Yeah, I mean, for 1080, it's going to go back to 13, 14. I'm going to say within a month, and that's going to be a great jump. Very easy. And here's the other thing. We were talking about this, and then we'll go to commercial real quick. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. So you guys know that my stance on Bitcoin for the longest time was don't waste your money, don't bother, right? But it actually turned out that I've changed my mind on Bitcoin, but I changed my mind on Bitcoin not the same way as looking at it as an investment. Because just if you stop looking at Bitcoin as an investment, you start looking at Bitcoin as something to have that you must have. When the AI revolution comes, you're going to have Bitcoin. I'm telling you now. Yeah. You're going to have it. Now, here's the cool thing about Bitcoin. Like infinite banking policies, and if you guys don't know what infinite banking policies, you can put the money in, you borrow it back out. Bitcoin's the same way. You could buy Bitcoin on Coinbase right now. You could buy, let's say you buy, I don't know, $10,000 worth of Bitcoin on Coinbase. You could borrow out $6,000 right back. And the interest rate on that is 4%. So it's nothing. So you can actually buy Bitcoin. Now, here's a really crazy thing. If you really want to take a little bit of a risk, but at the same time be smart, you buy $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, you take $6,000 out, and then you buy $6,000 more of Bitcoin.
Okay.
And now you're leveraging other people's money in Bitcoin, and then it keeps going. Now I'm at the point where I own. So I started buying Bitcoin in January. And I said by the end of next year, by the end of 2027, I intend to own 10 Bitcoin. Now I don't know what the price is going to be. So say I own 10 Bitcoin, I don't know what that's going to mean. It could mean $1 million worth of Bitcoin, or it could mean $500,000 worth of Bitcoin. I really don't know, but I intend to own 10 Bitcoin by the end of next year. So I now own a Bitcoin and a quarter. So so since January I've been accumulating. I buy it slowly. I'm not buying. I don't just throw a chunk of money in. Matter of fact, I highly recommend a daily buy. So if you could buy $10 or $25 a day of Bitcoin, it's a great thing. Now, I'm obviously I'm buying a lot more than that. I'm buying $250 a day of Bitcoin every day.
I think I'm doing 65 because you said something when we were
whenever it is,
financial like you. I think I'm buying 65 a day.
Whenever it is, you buy whatever you can, and you just you don't even notice it. What's the old saying? Pay yourself first, right?
Yeah.
So this is a great way to pay yourself first. Now it's a high risk or higher risk place to pay yourself first. So I also tell make sure you have other things lined up. So because if you put you put $100,000 into crypto and it's your whole $100,000 and it goes bad or crypto falls apart or the whole market just destroyed, then you lost your $100,000. You're like, but if you have a few $1 million and you put $100,000 in crypto, all right, I lost $100,000. You know what I mean? So please be careful when you do this. Just understand it. And we teach diversification. Diversification is one of the biggest things we teach in investor schooling. Yeah. And diversification is not just about, having 5 through 6 different stock categories. It's about having real estate. It's about having stocks. It's about having covered calls. It's about having ETFs. It's about having a 401k plan if you're at work. It's about having life insurance and putting money into life insurance. It's about having precious metals, coins like silver and gold, and then having on the other side Bitcoin or crypto, right? So you got to understand that you got to start somewhere. I don't recommend you start with crypto. That's the wrong place to start. Right, the right place to start. Honestly, the right place to start is real estate, because you could leverage very little money and get a lot of money really fast with real estate if you leverage it right. Then you start moving into the stock market, and it's a really short tail. Real estate to the stock market's a really short tail. So you buy your first rental property, then you throw a couple of bucks into the stock market, then you buy another real estate, throw a couple of bucks. Now, if you have some money already lying around, you could do both. But if you have no money, or you're coming in, very little money, maybe you have $20,000 to your name, or maybe even negative, right? Real estate's the place to start. Yeah. Then you start to move into stock market. Then you start to move into some of the things that we teach. All right, let's do this. You guys want to say something or no? Or no? Okay.
No, I mean I'm excited about the real estate part, but I mean I was interested in talking about.
Well, I want to go commercial, but we're going to a new topic after commercial. Okay.
I'm with you because I got the node thing going and
nodes,
life insurance and
right. So we have something. We have a blockchain. So we have an investment in blockchain. If you want to go, I can't really explain the whole thing right now. But if you want to invest in the blockchain, we have something. We partnered with somebody. So if you want to go to Larry Nodes, NODES, LarryNodes.com, there's a white paper up there. Now I'm going to tell you that they're not going to be for sale much longer, if they're even for sale anymore. You might go there, and it might not even be up anymore.
If they're for sale anymore.
They're not.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
They might not be. They were supposed to shut them down. They were supposed to, when I say shut them down, like stop selling them. At the end of last month.
I think they're going live in the next week or two.
Yeah, they're already going live. Right. I actually got my minted coins the other day. I don't even know what it is. Yeah. But this is just another way to invest in the blockchain, and it's another thing that we invested in, and these are all the things we're up. But let's do this. Let's take a commercial, and then we'll come back. We'll talk some more.
This is Larry Steinhouse.
Clear.
You need to take a complimentary class this Thursday. You need to learn how to invest in real estate. You need to learn how to invest in the stock market. You need to learn how to invest in stock options.
I got my minted.
And you need to learn how to make more money than you've ever made before. Why aren't you here? Come to investorschooling.com. Take a complimentary class this Thursday and learn. That's investorschooling.com. Take your complimentary class this Thursday. We'll see you there. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Listen, I can't tell you everything we do in 30 seconds, so you need to come to class this Thursday.
Hey, Larry, I just want to double check with you.
Yeah?
There were a couple of spots you wanted me to ask Frank to pull.
I think you did already.
You said you've never...
No, I don't think so. I think they're still here.
It was...
I'm just not playing them.
Dan, Dan
Jones is one of them, right?
And also...
Public adjuster.
And a public adjuster, yeah.
Pete, I was going to ask you, Pete's not doing it anymore?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor...
And you want... but the Lev 27 can stay in, right?
Yeah, please leave that in, yeah.
Saturday at 1 o'clock, it's...
Okay.
...a show. And you want to listen to this show because it's a live show and you can call in. In fact, here's the call-in number.
855-939-1137.
And when you call in, you can ask us questions about real estate, the stock market, even politics. Make sure you tune in Saturday, 1 o'clock. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Hi, this is Larry Steinhouse, and I want to tell you about a charity we formed.
Again?
Lev 27 is a charity that helps people stay in their homes. Look, sometimes...
Just in case you forgot, I'm Larry Steinhouse.
something happens and they can't
what are you
afford
trying to
pay,
say, man?
we will
Nothing.
You know,
we'll
you're
even
like that guy
cover
Alex who says,
legal
I do my
fees
own
to
commercial.
keep them in their home. Go to Lev 20
You didn't call in.
to find out how you can help or make a donation. Thank you.
I got that yesterday at 7 p.m.
This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that there are so many different ways to prepare for retirement, and annuities are not the answer? Come learn this Thursday by taking.
All right, are we just about ready?
I'm ready if you're ready.
And you will learn so many different ways that you can make more money in retirement than you actually expected to. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday. That's
Okay.
All right, we're coming back.
We'll see you there.
Your out time is the usual time.
All right, cool.
Program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
I'm digging this music. All right, welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I'm here with the two beautiful women, Dr. Deb Anderson and Svetlana Gordetsky. How cool is that?
As long as you think it's cool.
I think it's cool. And this is that voice. Say it. Just say anything.
855-939-1137. And I would highly recommend calling us at 855-939-1137.
All right, there you go.
I love the almost icy disdain in her voice when she was talking to you.
I know. I agree. I was like, but it was great because she went right into the phone number, so it didn't matter. I quickly forgot that that she was being so mean.
She was not being
because she was talking about the phone number, so the phone number is good. So 855-939-1137. Call in, talk to us, ask us questions, ask us about the stock market, ask us about ask us about real estate, ask Svetlana out.
You could ask Svetlana out.
Yeah, she's single. Imagine somebody like. Wow, right. So Svetlana, first of all, is very, very rich because she comes from investor schooling, became very, very rich from investor schooling, right? She's very good looking, and she's got that sexy Russian accent. How could you go wrong?
There you go.
Right? So there you go. So you can even ask Svetlana out.
Great smile too. I just saw her on the live. She's got a great smile.
There you go. See that?
And she's nice, actually. She's a nice person to boot, so that's always
right. Could you imagine? We have somebody single now in the studio.
I know, it's new for us.
And now she's becoming famous because she's on the air.
There you go. Everybody's going to be asking for you next time. You're going to be like, Omri, who's that? We don't want that. Well, we want the other immigrant.
No. Just keeping Omri's chair warm for him.
Oh, and how are you keeping his chair warm?
That's an off-air discussion.
Yeah. There you go.
That's funny.
All right.
Funny.
So we talked a little bit about where to invest your money and how to invest your money and why you should be investing your money. The biggest mistake that people make is they listen to their broke friends and their broke parents and their broke teachers and their broke everybody. And what do they say? They say go to school, get good grades, save your money, work hard, save your money, and then retire on 40% of what you were making before, even though you couldn't afford to live on it before also. Stop doing this. It's stupid.
So we were out last night. My hubby and I, we went out last night. We were walking around New Hope, and we ended up stopping at one of the bars, like one of the open air bars that are there. And we're just sitting and chit-chatting. Like a big thing for us is like we just go to the bar and goof off. And we're, he was drinking a little bit, and we met this couple who were actually from Easton, because it caught my attention because they were from Easton, because you have your place in Easton. I looked at a place in Easton. And we were just chatting with them, and we were asking what they do. And we were just, we were all having a good time. We were just drinking and goofing off. And he said something, if you see my husband, there's no doubt that he rides a motorcycle. Like, you just kind of know it because he's, whatever. Anyway, he said something about the guy. He's like,
he's the scariest teddy bear you'll ever meet.
Yeah, he really is, actually. And he's a dangerous teddy bear, but he's very good to me anyway. But anyway, so we were all chit-chatting. We were all talking, and the guy was saying something about, I always wanted to get a Harley, and, but I can't afford it. It costs too much money. And I just look over him. I'm like, your mindset's totally off. And, like, Phil looks at me. He's like, what's wrong with this guy? So it's interesting because even my husband's starting to pick up on the whole mindset thing.
Good.
And the guy's just like, no, it's too much money. After I pay all my bills, I don't have any money left. And I'm like, you're going about this the whole way that, you're going about this totally wrong. Right. And then he just kind of kept going his way, and I just realized that it wasn't worth the conversation. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't worth.
You can't want it more than they do.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
You want him to have a Harley Davidson more than he wants to have a Harley Davidson.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
We're like, whatever. You go have fun and you do whatever you want. But it was just so interesting that it's just. I don't know who I was talking to, but I was saying something about 99% of the people they just want to live their life and they'll do the same thing over and over and over again. And then you have the 1% who is us, who's just like going to Arkansas and not having a plan,
exactly.
just do it.
Absolutely. I mean, it was brilliant. I was like so proud of you ladies. Let's talk to Nancy in Upper Bucks County. What's going on, Nancy?
So you talk about how you have to have your middle solid.
Yeah.
Before you branch out into silver on one side or Bitcoin on the other side. Can you talk more about that?
Sure. I know who this is.
I know who this is, too. Hi, Nancy. How are you,
So
honey?
what I'm talking about is like...
Well, hello, kids. At one point, you said just go and buy a silver bar. Buy one a month.
Right.
Buy one a week.
Perfect.
Buy one every
Yep.
time you get a paycheck.
Yep.
But you've also said don't do that if your middle isn't solid.
Well, so right. So you're going to put money. You want to put money into some other things too. So you want to have real estate. We talked about this already, right? You want to have real estate. You also want to have money. Maybe put even if it's something simple like a 401k or an EFT or ETF. I always get that backwards. Or an ETF, right? Just something that money is into. Just because, look. So silver has no benefit. You buy silver and you don't get any dividends on it. It doesn't pay you anything. So silver's a long-term investment play, or like I buy it for the zombie apocalypse. Now the fact is, one day I'm going to die and my kid's going to open up the safe and go, "Oh cow, Dad had a lot of silver," and he's going to be very happy to see it because that's probably what's going to happen to it, right? Because it's really worthless to me. It doesn't do anything to me. It doesn't do anything for me. I can't even borrow against it because I keep it physically. I don't even keep it in somebody else's locker. I keep it physically. So it's a completely useless investment, except for the fact that it's a long-term thing that I can have in case something happens, right? So that's not a great place to start with money. But if you have other things in place, you have maybe you have some retirement in place. I mean, I know you own some property. However that is, it is. So buying a little bit of silver for you is an okay idea, but don't buy too much. Maybe you're buying, like I say, buy maybe a 10-ounce bar a month, or if you can buy more, per month. That'd be like $700 a month, or even if you buy one coin a month, or 2 coins a month, or 3 coins a month, just buy something and put it away. Now remember that's not going to generate any income. Same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, actually, the funny part about Bitcoin is actually slightly better to go there before you go to silver, only because you can borrow against it quicker. So if you're using Coinbase, and like I said before, you bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, you can actually borrow against it. So if you actually needed the money, you could get it. You can get it without selling it. Whereas silver, you'd have to sell it. You'd sell it as a loss because you always sell it at a loss. All right, so the middle again is real estate. It's stock options. It's funds. It's whatever it is that is going to give you some money. Now, even part of the middle is even Social Security. So if you've set yourself up for Social Security in the right way, that's fine too. So if you set that up, then you start to branch out. Now, you don't stop building the middle. You're still building the middle. But now you're slowly building the outsides, and then you're building the outsides bigger and bigger. Like I'm buying a lot of Bitcoin all of a sudden because my middle is so strong now that I can move to the outside. My middle builds itself now. It turns out the real estate starts to. I just have to buy more real estate because I have all this money. I have to buy more real estate. I have the money in the stock market. I have to buy more stocks because I have to find some place to put the money, right? But then we got the outside. We got the Bitcoin. We got the silver, and I'm building that too. But you got to start somewhere. Now, people are like, "Oh, Larry, you're so rich. It's easy for you." I hate to tell you, in 2008, I didn't have a pot to pee in. Right? I mean, I went bankrupt, lost everything, had a 420 credit score, and had no money. If you read my book, the story's in there. So realize that this is from 2008 to now. I built all this back. Now, even if 5 years ago you would have said, "Oh, Larry, you're rich." Now I'm nowhere near as rich. I was nowhere near as rich as I am now. I mean, now it's all snowballed, and it's snowballed into an incredible lifestyle that I have, and an incredible work ethic that I help other people do this. But it takes time. You're not going to get it overnight. It doesn't work that way. You build a little bit at a time. You build this piece, then you build that piece, and you build that piece, and you build that piece, and then all of a sudden you turn around and go, "Wow, holy cow! I'm very wealthy," and you don't even realize it. And that's why I can do things like, buy fancy cars now, because it doesn't matter anymore. Now I know that if things went really, really bad it would take a long time for me to drain everything out before I would have to, I don't know, be on welfare. I don't even know if that could ever happen. I don't even think it's possible that it could happen. But something like that, you know what I mean? Where other people are close. You know, some people have, maybe they have $10,000 to their name, including the value of their car. You know what I mean? Right? And now they have to make some decisions. So the first decision I would make is change your mindset. You come to investor schooling, the first thing's going to happen, you're going to change your mindset. Absolutely change your mindset, right? Then I'm going to teach you how to buy properties with no money. But here's the thing. I'm going to teach you how to do it. The question is whether you're going to do it or not.
Yeah.
Right? So we have students, they come and they don't do it. And it drives me nuts because they're like, oh, I'm afraid. What are you afraid of? You have nothing. You own nothing. You have no money. You have no nothing. I'm teaching you how to buy properties with no money. What could happen? Well, I could go bankrupt. You already are. You just haven't filed yet. You know? So stop thinking. Right. So stop thinking. The biggest mistake you can make is doing nothing. That is the biggest mistake you can make. So what happens? So you buy a couple of properties and it goes bad. Who cares? You're right back where you were. You're right. You had $10,000 to your name. Maybe you don't have $10,000 in your name anymore. Who cares? I've had people say, they're like, you know, it's my last $10,000. I don't know what to do with it. You want to know what you should do with your last $10,000? I'm telling you right now. Go on a vacation. Take the $10,000. Go on a beautiful vacation. Go to Russia. Right? Go to right. Solana, will you tell them where to go?
Absolutely.
Go to Disney World and go first class and stay in the most expensive Disney hotel there is. Right? And spend the $10,000. You want to know why? Because when you come back home, you'll no longer have the $10,000 as the excuse as to why you're not going to invest any money. It drives me crazy when people come in like, oh, it's my last $10,000. What am I going to do? Get rid of it, and you'll quickly learn how to make money. Like people, they lose their job. We were talking about this before. People lose their job, and what do they get? They get a severance package, right? What do? They get a 6-month severance package. And when do they start looking for a job?
6 months later.
6 months later. How stupid can you be? Yeah. Right? You should be like, I'm going to get some free money for the next 6 months. I want to work next week.
Yeah.
I want to go to work next week if I have a 6-month severance package. And I'm going to take that severance package and I'm going to take the entire thing and invest it somewhere because that's free money. Yeah. Right? But no. Oh, I got some time. What'd you do? Well, you know, I watch TV. Okay. Real smart. Did you get paid to watch TV? No. Anyway, so I think I answered your question, Nancy, and you're awesome. And I'm so glad. Matter of fact, Nancy was the one, if you remember, so if you're listening to the show, it was 3 months ago-ish, right? When you called in.
2 months.
2 months ago. You called in, and I said you weren't going to show up, and Omri said you were going to show up. And we bet that you weren't going to show up, and we bet that you were going to show up. And you not only did you show up, you became a student. And what do you think so far?
I think it's the best thing I ever did.
Oh, come on, elaborate.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Deb will tell you, I was down on myself, down on my prospects, down on my future, and all of that has reversed 180 degrees.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Awesome. We don't even charge you for the therapy either.
No, I know. And everybody's like normal.
Yeah,
yeah, normal's a great. Yeah, right.
Everybody's good.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's not some crazy thing. It's like a wonderful thing.
So it's funny. They say that the 5 people you hang around with is what you become.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're out there and you're hanging around with losers and drug addicts, that's what you're going to be. You're going to be a loser and drug addict, right? So some people come here. They come here just to hang around people who are making it, and all of a sudden it happens. Yeah. They make it. Now I associate that, you know, my you know, where I am because of some of the people I hang around with. I mean, I hang around with some really, really high level people now, right? And you know, and Debbie's coming along with me now, and you know, we bring other people along with us. But you know, you move up. You don't just go from here you are now to hanging out with the president, right? You know, that just doesn't happen. So I've hung out with the president before, and you know, he still wouldn't even know who I am. I will tell you that if I told him who I was, he would know who I was.
And as soon as he sees the jacket, he knows.
Exactly right. It's exactly right. But there are other people. You know, I'm also starting a podcast called Lunch with Larry. And that podcast is going to be interviewing very, like important people, like very strong people. Not just your average guy who has a grocery store. Well, that may even be a good thing, but anyway, not an average podcast. It's actually going to take place at Capitol Grill. I'm going to be buying people lunch, and we're going to be doing something called Lunch with Larry. That's coming up soon. I'm going to be filming the next one soon, and I got some really cool people already lined up. So when you start to see that, that'll be cool too. All right, but anyway, we're looking forward to seeing you when.
Monday.
There you go.
We shall see you all then.
All right, cool. All right, let's
Bye,
go
kids.
to.
Thanks for Nancy.
Thanks, Nancy. Let's go to Jay. What's going on, Jay?
Hey, Larry, how you doing?
Good, man.
Hey, I didn't know this one too.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
you recognize this voice?
I will in a minute.
I got a question though. If you become the 5 people you hang around with, since I hang around Svetlana and Omri, will I become an immigrant?
So you are an immigrant. You are an immigrant.
Well,
I just want to know.
I'm from America.
By the way, I called you yesterday while you were working on my sauna. It's a Jason electrician.
Oh.
I called you yesterday so I could tell you to wire the light up, but you didn't answer the phone, so you didn't do it.
Jay was helping me actually.
I never
at my
heard it.
I know,
place
that's
in
right.
Philly too.
No big
Actually,
deal. But so what's up, Jay? You want to know about HSAs?
Yeah, I had a question about if my spouse has an HSA, am I able to use that, or do I have to have my own?
Okay, wait. So when you say your spouse has an HSA, do you mean like an HSA on your own, or an HSA through your company?
No, she has it. She had it through her previous company, and she still has it.
Okay, but
she can continue to contribute to it.
Right. Okay, but she's no longer employed by that company.
Correct.
Okay, this is what I want you to do. Just leave that money there, forget about it, and go to Lively HSA. Lively HSA, and open up an HSA. Now you can open up a family HSA. I think it's $9,800 this year is the max. It's either $8,800 or $9,800. I don't remember what it is. And you can open up an HSA through Lively HSA. And the cool part about Lively HSA is you could trade stock options in your Charles Schwab account because they connect to Charles Schwab.
Yeah. And
you can actually trade inside Charles Schwab with your HSA. And then the cool thing about the app, the Lively HSA app, is if you remember, right? Actually, interestingly enough, next month I'm going for cataract surgery because maybe I'll be able to see again because I can't stand it anymore, right? So I'm going for cataract surgery, and they gave me an option. There's optional. There's the insurance paid for cataract surgery, and then there's the $6,000 upgrade, where you don't need your glasses anymore.
It's the lens.
Yeah, where they change the lens, right? So I'm going to take the $6,000 upgrade. Now I can use my HSA money, and that's cool. If I want to use my HSA money, I got that. That was taxed. That was non-taxed money, and it's in an account. Or I could not pay, or I could not use the HSA money. I could just save the receipt and hold on to that money inside my HSA and let it build. Which is what I'm going to do, and let it build and build and build. And as long as when I go to take the money out of my HSA, which I could take out any time after 65, I could take it out for any reason. But as long as I have receipts that show that I've spent more money than what's inside my HSA, all the growth inside my HSA is also tax-free. So that's why I take the money out of my pocket, pay for the cataract surgery, and then I let it sit in the HSA, and I record it in Lively HSA. They have an app. Lively HSA has the app, and I record it in there, so it tells me how much my all my expenses were. And I can hand it to my accountant, and it's an accurate expense account.
Okay, great.
So,
and do you just take a picture of that receipt, or do you have?
Yeah, you can take a picture. Yeah, you take a picture, but you actually take a picture, but you also put in, you log who it's from and how much it was. It's really great.
Yeah,
it
takes like 2 minutes. 2 minutes to do.
Yeah, I'm like $20,000 over in expenses that I have in my HSA right now, so I could take out my HSA right now completely tax free.
Okay.
And that doesn't even count.
And you're
count
trading with yours?
Surgery. And I'm trading with I traded on Charles Schwab. Yeah, I'm actually surprised you didn't know this already. So we could set that up for you.
Well, I think we have a meeting with you on Monday.
Cool. All right, we'll set it up then.
So
we'll
I'll ask you about that.
Yeah, we'll definitely set it up.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right,
Cool.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Jane, and thanks for coming out and hooking up my sauna. I have this cool sauna.
You got
now.
it's all safe now.
I know. I'm so excited. That was funny. The two of us trying to figure the instructions on this. So the instructions that came with this sauna were so bad. They were so bad, and there was a hookup on something that had to be hooked up that nobody showed you. Like there was no wires there for it. Like it didn't exist.
Okay.
So between Jay and I, we had to figure out, like, you know, so my background is electronics.
Okay, right.
And you know, obviously Jay's an electrician, and the two of us were looking at the thing. We're trying to figure it out. We're tracing wires out. We're trying to figure out how this thing works. And we figured out that there has to be another wire that goes here, here, and here. And once you put that wire in, everything worked. But it took us like an hour, and then we were scared because these two wires, we had to attach these two wires, and between them was 240 volts.
Oh, wow.
So we're like, if we attach these wires,
we're
either going to blow this thing up or it's going to work.
That's funny.
So
luckily it worked.
Luckily it worked, exactly.
That's funny.
All right, man. Thanks, bud. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Larry.
Thank you, Jay.
That's another thing that's cool too. Is, you know, Jay's obviously a student, and that's how we met him.
Yeah.
And because Jay's an electrician, you know,
We go to
he's
him
a
first.
student. I'm going to use him because
use him
why wouldn't I
first.
use him, right?
Yeah.
And he's obviously also a very good electrician too.
Yeah.
But you know, so why wouldn't I use him? Because you know he's in school. The cool thing, when you come to investor schooling, if you're working on properties or anything like that, we have everything. We have electricians, we have plumbers, we have all the people that you need. You know, they're mostly students, so it's great.
Yeah. Even also, Glenn, who's an inspector.
Yeah, well,
I called him up
that's
today.
the best one.
Yeah, I called him
Glenn
up today,
is
and I'm
the
like,
best
hey,
one.
I'm worried about this. Can you tell me what the code is? And he's like, you're going to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, all right, you know. So, and he helped me too in Delaware, gave me some guidance on you're going to need to do this for code. It was great.
Yeah,
was
so he's
really
a consultant who will help you get your building permits through.
Yeah.
And get them through quickly.
Yeah.
And that's great because he makes sure that they're filled out right, make sure it's done right, make sure he talks to the right people. He'll go to the desk, he'll talk to the right person.
He was helping me with the Philly licenses too, which is great. Yeah, I have some other stuff I have to do, but he's been pushing a lot of that stuff through, which is fantastic. I mean, just super
when we
helpful.
built our offices next door, he was able to get everything done for us too, so it was great.
Yeah, it's really great.
All right. So quick things. Of course, if you want to go to Investor Schooling, just go to investorschooling.com. I mentioned the Sultan Fund. If I didn't mention the fund earlier, send a text message to 26786. Send the word Sultan. And actually, the next fund is opening up in June, and we've been crushing it in this fund.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn more about that, 26786, send the word Sultan. And if you want a free copy of my book, a digital copy of my book, same phone number, 26786, send the word Hacks. All right, we got about a minute. What do you want to say to the audience, Svetlana?
From the perspective of a student that's been around for about a year.
Or anything else.
No, that's exactly what I want to say. I would highly recommend coming to audit the Thursday night class. And then you can decide for yourself. Talk to some of the students. Talk to Larry. Talk to Dr. Deb.
Talk to Svetlana.
Decide for yourself.
Svetlana's there almost every Thursday.
Yeah.
And she's awesome. And, you know, and with that voice, how could you not talk to her, right? You know, you know, if you could come in, you can talk to Omri, you can talk to Svetlana, and you could, like, you know, you can have the whole international thing going on.
There you go.
Absolutely. Most important thing is take some action.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely true. And if you come and don't join the school, you learn something. All right. I want to thank all the listeners for listening. Once again, this is the Larry Steinhouse Show. I was here with Dr. Deb and Svetlana. Omri was out today, and he's in Florida doing this thing. I want to, of course, thank the...
Glenn?
Anybody going to say sweet?
Oh, the sweet!
Glenn Page, there you go. For being a great producer today and taking care of phone calls. He's probably just turned red. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and we will see you on Thursday. Take care.
This program is paid for by investors.
I did. Yes, I did.
Investor Schooling or